Attorneys asked a new panel of judges to order the release of state documents all connected to the Uvalde school shooting. A Travis County judge had okayed the release of records before the state appealed, halting that process. Attorneys for a group of news organizations argue the public deserves to know everything about what they call the most significant law enforcement failure in state history. Fox Sports' Amelia Jones has more on the arguments and also what happens next. Amelia.
Heather, some people think they might have seen all there is to see from the school shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde. However, it was revealed in court today that there are thousands of pages of documents and hundreds of videos that haven't been released. The desire to have this information released to the public was argued today in an Austin courtroom.
We're talking about the most significant law enforcement failure in Texas's history that they would like to cloak in secrecy forever from the general public. The public interest couldn't be higher.
On Wednesday, a panel of judges heard arguments on whether to order the release of DPS records related to the Uvalde school shooting. Laura Prather represents the Texas Tribune and 13 other news outlets. In 2023, a Travis County judge ordered the release of some records. The state appealed the decision and argued the release of the information could interfere with witness recollection for other trial cases involving the mass shooting.
No good investigator worth his or her salt is going to turn over information that could interfere with the prosecution while the prosecution is ongoing. Texas courts have recognized that the entity in the best position to know what would interfere with prosecution is the actual prosecutor, not a bunch of news outlets.
In court on Wednesday, the state revealed there are roughly 2.8 terabytes of data from the investigation file that haven't been released. Prather believes the public deserves to see the full picture of what happened.
There's no investigation to be protected here anymore. The shooter is dead and the investigation is closed. So there's no reason for this information not to come out.
Portions of body camera footage from that day have already been shared with the public. Prather says those videos were voluntarily shared with news outlets by the city of Uvalde. A question regarding the additional body camera footage was posed to the state by Chief Justice Scott Brister.
Body camera footage. It is what it is. It shows what it shows. It's not going to change. I mean, I understand the problem about witnesses. We can talk about those, but that is not going to change. It is what it is. And why does that need to be kept secret?
This was one of the first cases heard by the newly created Texas 15th Court of Appeals. The court opened in September, and the judges were appointed by Governor Greg Abbott. Prather says the court's decision on the case will have a lasting impact.
I don't think you can overstate the amount of impact the decision in this case will have on open records in the state of Texas and on law enforcement and whether or not law enforcement can act with impunity.
The court asked the state if they could share the files that were used in that Travis County trial court case. The state responded by saying they would work to make those files accessible for the judges. Prather told us she doesn't know when the court will issue its opinion on this case.